Hello, hello everyone. How you guys doing? Hello, hello. Blue. Hi. Hi, Blue. Hi, Jameer. Hey, Jamie. Hi, AF. How you guys doing? Hello, hello. Welcome. How you doing, Jameer? Are you getting better? I hope you get better. I don't know if it counts as ASMR. I don't know. We will see. We will see. You haven't been to the doctor? You should go to the doctor. The doctor? Someone you should go and see. Oh, how is everyone today, 1st of November? Adapt or die. So, today, I'm a little bit nervous to show you everything I've made. Welcome to the very first episode of After Dark with me. Welcome to the very first episode of After Dark with Kenway. I hope you will like this idea, and hopefully I will not get nuked off the web for that from Twitch. Please do not ban me. Thank you very much. So this is going to be very interesting today. As you can see on your screen, we will be talking about H.H. Holmes and the Son of Sam. This is something I've mentioned before. There's also a disclaimer on your screen. It's going to be there at all times. Just to be safe, just to be sure. So yeah, the disclaimer will be there at all times. And also, I have to let you know that there are a few things I can't show you. Oh, it's been a year? Wow. Wow. So basically, in order to comply with Twitch and be as safe as possible, I cannot show you. Hi, Savior. Hello. Hi. I cannot show you any bodies or any murder weapons or any disturbing images on stream. Everything you will be seeing here today is public, and I got it from the internet. So you're free to go and do your own research and find things that pique your interest. But there are a few things that I can show you tonight. I basically had to rewrite the stories and the cases and work around any disturbing descriptions, because this is not YouTube and it's a lot more strict. So I hope you will like this. We will start with a favorite of mine. But before we do, I want your opinion on the new layout. What do you think of the layout? It's going to be fine. What do you think of the new layout? We have a completely new layout for this stream. We have a completely new intro for that. And hello, Perfect Drag. Hi, how you doing? This is a more Art Deco kind of vibe. I hope the music is not too loud. Is it too loud for you? I hope it's not. I'm doing really, really good. I'm a little bit nervous for tonight because I have to time the slideshow perfectly. It's really, really low. Really? I need feedback. I need feedback. Is it better now? Is it good? Perfect. I just want everything to be perfect. You just get your snacks, do your thing, and just enjoy. AF. But yeah, also another thing, if you would like to just talk to each other, you're free to do so. If you have any questions or discussions, we have a pinned message on top of chat. So what I did was I basically broke down the stories in sections, and between each section we will be talking and we will be having a conversation, because I do not want to be talking for an hour straight, and I also don't want to keep, interrupting myself to answer to questions and stuff. So that's how we will be doing things today. We can talk and discuss all the information in between sections so that we have a smoother experience for that. So, today we will be talking about H.H. Holmes. Are you ready? Get something nice to drink, get a snack, sit back, and relax. I was born with a devil in me. I was born with evil standing by the bed when I came into this world, and it has been with me ever since. H.H. Holmes. Who was H.H. Holmes? You ask. I got you. His real name was Herman Webster Mudgett, and he was born in May 1861 in New Hampshire. Holmes's parents, Levi Horton Mudgett and Theodate Page Price, were devout Methodists and demanded total obedience from him. Mudgett was his parents' third child. Prior to marriage, his mother was a school teacher. A very normal person, you may say. She was described as a cold and distant individual who used religion as a daily guide for parenting. Well, let's see how that plays out, right? His alcoholic father followed a strict disciplinarian approach that resulted in physical abuse. There we go. You got it. Holmes's parents were both physically and mentally abusive towards him, and this was particularly true of his father. The harsh disciplinary tactics included prolonged isolation and even food deprivation. Furthermore, his father reportedly held kerosene soaked rugs over his mouth to quiet him when he cried. During these instances of abuse by his father, Holmes found refuge in the forest near his home. It was in the forest that he began dissecting animals and developing his deviant fascination for things, both dead and alive. Well, that's never a good thing, you know. It is possible that Holmes, who was known to be a very intelligent loner, was so traumatized by the abuse that it ultimately led to his inability to form meaningful relationships. I mean, I can see it. I can definitely do that. His own abuse may have also contributed to his habit of lies, swindling, and abusing others. From a young age, he showed great interest in science and technology. Still, there were haunting signs of what was to come. He expressed an interest in medicine, which reportedly led him to practice surgery on animals. And that is a huge red flag for a kid. That never ends well. If you see your kid opening up animals, run. Some accounts indicate that he might have been responsible for the death of a friend, but we are not sure. Exactly, that's how it starts. Holmes's life of crime began with various frauds of scams. On July 4th, 1878, Holmes married Clara Lovering. They had one son, Robert Lovering Mudgett. Robert went on to become a certified public accountant and served as city manager in Florida. In 1879, Holmes enrolled at the University of Vermont in Burlington at the age of 18. But, there's always a but. He was very dissatisfied with the school and left after 1 year. In 1882, he transferred to the University of Michigan in the Department of Medicine and Surgery. Despite his mediocre academic performance, Holmes successfully graduated in June 1884. And this is where things become a little bit darker, you see. As a medical student in the University of Michigan, he stole corpses and used them to make false insurance claims. Holmes might have used the bodies for experiments as well. You see where this is going, right? During this time, he came into contact with people who made money by illegally digging up corpses from cemeteries and selling them to anatomy labs. He participated in the scheme to earn extra cash, and he started seeking more profitable scams. In 1886, he killed his best friend and partner in grave robbing, dressed him in his own clothes, and presented him as Herman Mudgett to collect the life insurance he had taken out on him shortly before killing him. He then changed his name to Henry Howard Holmes, collected the $40,000 insurance payout, and he vanished. So, while still legally married to Clara, Holmes married 24-year-old Myrta Belknap. That's Myrta. on your screen right now. So I need you to pay attention to that, okay? Because this is very, very important now. While he was still legally married to Clara, he married Marta, okay? And they had one daughter. This is Lucy Theodate Holmes. And she later became a public school teacher. Now you see, his kids grew up to be very normal people, which is a contrast to how he was as a person. So, Marta Holmes and their daughter, they settled in Chicago, where Holmes worked at the E.S. Holton Pharmacy Store, located at the west of 63rd and Wallace Street in Inglewood. When the owner, Everett Holton, died, his wife Claire Holton disappeared after selling the store to Holmes. I mean, you don't have to be a detective to know what happened, right? You don't need to. Then he started building and gradually added more floors. He was later rumored to have killed its original owner. It eventually became a 3-story structure. You can see the original building on your screen right now. That's how the murder castle started, and that's how it looked like. I mean, Holmes was a doctor, he was a pharmacist, a landlord, and a con man. I have one question. Like, the real mystery is how the hell was he able to keep his resume in just one page? Like, how can you do that with so many professions, you know? How can you do that? You can see the original building again, and what he started, like how he basically turned the building into. Somewhere at the bottom floor, it was the pharmacy store. So now we are done with the introduction, and we can talk about that if you want to talk about this. We have a lot more to do. After this section, we will be talking about the key events and crimes he committed. We will be talking about the murder castle and its details. You have no idea how bad this is going to turn. No idea. And you cannot probably guess how he got caught, because it was for a very stupid reason. And it was not for his crimes. Which is infuriating, by the way. So if you have any questions so far, if you have any comments, feel free. We are free to discuss. Chat is open before we move on to the next section. Let's also have some water. It's very important to stay hydrated. Okay, how about an imposter check? Yeah, I always forget about that. We do need a posture check. Oh. Shall we continue? Let's see about his crimes. Hmm. This is gonna get really dark. But I also do have a lot of... I have a lot of jokes in my head for that. This was his castle. A hotel with labyrinth corridors, hidden trapdoors that allowed him to secretly transfer bodies. Guess where? To the basement. I mean, if it has an attic or a basement, it's probably not the best place for you to live, right? It's probably gonna be haunted or dangerous or whatever. The building was divided into different sections, each designed and constructed. Pay attention to this. Oh, thank you, Bellamy. Each level was constructed by a different architect so that no one would realize his true intentions. It was a smart move. H.H. Holmes, that's right. In his blueprints, if we look at the blueprints of the murder castle, probably it probably read like choose your own adventure book, except every ending was bad. You know, during the 1893 Columbian Exposition, which attracted more than 27 million people, Holmes opened up his home as a hotel for visitors. A few words about the Columbian Exposition. The World's Columbian Exposition, also known as the Chicago World's Fair, was a World's Fair held in Chicago from May 5th to October 31st, 1893, to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's arrival in the New World in 1492. So imagine, for months, this event attracted 27 million people. And that's when H.H. Holmes, or Herman Webster Mudgett, opened his hotel for visitors. That was an evil plan. Evil plan. Like, so many people, so many events, so many attractions. He got the perfect timing to lure people in. The blueprints included 51 doorways that opened to brick walls, 100 windowless rooms, stairs that led to nowhere, 2 furnaces, and body-sized chutes to an incinerator. I'm just saying, if Holmes was around today, he would make a killing as an escape room designer. Like, prove me wrong. He would be great if he wasn't like that. You know. Holmes turned some rooms into gas chambers where he killed his victims through asphyxiation and poisoning. And of course, this is gonna get more dark and twisted as we continue. He would then drag the bodies to the bathroom and drop them through a hidden hole in the floor, which led to the bathroom on the lower level. From there, he moved the bodies to a storage room, and by opening another trapdoor, the bodies reached their final destination. Guess what? The basement. It's always the basement. There, he had 2 tanks. One filled with acid to dissolve the bodies, which then he sold as skeletons to medical schools. and the other one had bleach for the remaining bones. Many bodies weren't dissolved, but sold to anatomy labs. Dude was making money. Dude was making money. However, he made the most money by cashing in on the life insurance policies of his victims. I mean, you know, when Holmes said checking out of his hotel, I think he meant something entirely different than we do today, you know. That was a different type of a checkout, if you will. Hello, yogurt. Hi. Welcome. You know, like, boy was making money, but apparently it wasn't enough for what he was doing. You know? He was sure smart. He was sure smart. Twisted, but smart. Because the way he started and the way he's like escalating, ew. Initially, his motives were purely financial, but over time, he began to enjoy the murders. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You don't say. He became more creative in the ways he killed his victims. He had also one room where he hanged them, another one where he let them die from starvation and thirst, and a third where he burned them alive. Many of his victims were women who worked for him, and he decided to kill them because, you know, they rejected him. You know, that's never good. Just like a little... Yeah. He also killed some women with whom he had relationships with. Oh boy, we are never safe. We are never safe. We are never safe. Holmes's second wife, Myrta, described him as a tender man and devoted father. That's his second wife, Marta. And girl, allow me to doubt that statement, please. I do not believe you. I do not believe you. I'm sorry, I don't. The women who interacted with him found him handsome and charming. And trust me, he had no trouble finding female company or wives. In fact, Holmes, as you see him on your screen right here, pay attention, he was secretly married to 3 women at the same time. His divorce from his first wife, okay, was never finalized. That's Clara, his first wife. He asked for a divorce, but it was never granted, it was never finalized. And he secretly married his third wife, Georgiana, that you're gonna see right now on your screen, on January 17th, 1894, in Denver, Colorado, while still married to both Clara, the first one, and Marta, the second one. And because it wasn't enough for him, obviously, in addition to these marriages, he also began a side relationship with his lover Julia. Julia also had a daughter, by the way. I mean, I am glad he didn't have access to online dating. I'm so thankful this man didn't have access. Imagine he was alive today and he had access to online dating. What a nightmare. That would be awful. I mean, this man is a rabbit. Like, keep it in your pants, dude. Please, keep it in your pants. You know, besides his official relationships, he had many mistresses. You can see all his official wives. I mean, he wasn't like officially allowed to marry other people, but he did somehow. A lot of love to give. I doubt that. I doubt that. You know, he had many mistresses whom he disposed of at his hotel when he lost interest in them. He only regretted killing one, Minnie Williams, that you see on your screen right now, because, surprise, surprise, as he admitted in his confession, he had loved her. I regret killing Minnie. I loved her, he said. Of course, that didn't stop him from having an affair with her sister, Annie, whom he also killed. I mean, not surprised here. Are you? Is anyone surprised? I'm not. Expected. You know, a lot of women, and so many more that we haven't identified from back then, because it's like it's way back. So yeah, it's a long time, a really, really long time. So what do you think so far? Do you have any comments about the crimes and all the information we just got? Dude couldn't keep it in his pants. He was like, wow. Some issues. I personally believe he had both parent issues. I truly believe that. Oh, a hydrate. Hold up. A good guy, if that's a good guy. oh, trust me, he did not stop there. There's a lot more, and the way they caught him is actually very stupid. He did not get caught for his crimes. Well, not all of them at least. So, if you're ready to continue, as we're about to move on to the capture and trial. So, Holmes left Chicago shortly after the World's Fair to continue his schemes, including a master plan with an associate that he found named Benjamin Pitezel. No, that's Benjamin, and he looks like a really good guy, right? He sure does. He looks like a good guy. not as bad as Holmes. That's for sure. So, they planned for Pizzo to fake his own death in order to collect $10,000 from a life insurance company. After Pizzo purchased the life insurance policy, he and Majid traveled to Chicago, Colorado, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Texas, where they committed other acts of fraud. Also along the way, Pizzo was unaware that Majid also remarried. Returning to Missouri, Majid was arrested for fraud and briefly jailed in St. Louis. That's one of the sketches. While in jail, he met Marion Hedgepeth. Who is Marion, you ask? I got you. Hedgepeth was a career criminal who was serving a 25-year sentence and agreed to help Majid in the insurance scheme with Pizzo. Holmes promised Hedgepeth a $500 commission in exchange for the name of a lawyer who could be trusted. Meanwhile, Pizzo moved to Philadelphia and opened a fake patent office to swindle investors. And guess what happened? After his release from jail, Majid traveled to Philadelphia and he killed Pizzo. He killed his partner in the scheme. That's an evil man right there. That's an evil man. While the authorities eventually identified Howard as Holmes, they didn't catch on soon enough to stop his violent murders. Holmes killed Pizzo, and after telling his widow, Mary Alice Cunning, that you see on your screen, who had been aware of her husband's involvement in the scheme, he told her that her husband was still alive and in hiding, and he gave her $500 of the money he collected. He also convinced her into allowing 3 of her 5 children to be placed in his custody. Now, before I move on to the next slide, I want you to understand that this woman that you see on your screen, he told her that her husband was still alive and in hiding, and somehow persuaded her to let 3 of her 5 kids into his custody. Talking about Mother of the Year. What I see so far in this story is horrible parents. Horrible parents. Why would you give your kids away to a stranger? Especially back then. Why would you do that? Right? Doesn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't. It's horrible. He was worried that some of Pizzo's children might alert the authorities, so he actually killed 3 of them. Now, this is the only picture I can show you. I can't show you anything else. I can't show you evidence of that. Obviously for, you know, obvious reasons, because that's Twitch. So yeah. While the authorities, you know, they were aware that Holmes was Howard, you know. That's getting even sadder. That's getting even sadder. After several weeks of outrunning authorities, insurance investors and investigators were alerted to the fraud by Hedgebeth himself. He basically gave Mudgett away, like Holmes. He told the authorities about it. While initially the authorities had little evidence in which to convict Holmes, they did have his outstanding warrant. You will never guess what. For stealing a horse in Texas. Dude stole a horse in Texas, and that was enough to have a price on its head that actually made the investigators run after him. Isn't this stupid? He had killed so many people all this time, and what made people wake up was horse theft. It's unbelievable. Mudgett was officially and finally apprehended in November 1894 in Boston after being tracked there from Philadelphia by the private Pinkerton National Detective Agency. Dudes brought out the Pinkertons. They brought out the Pinkertons for this guy. They truly did. That was a Chad move. In July 1895, Chicago police reporters began investigating Holmes's building in Inglewood. Though many sensational claims were made, no evidence was found which could have convicted Holmes in Chicago. Which was not good. Not good. You can also see a sketch of the building that we saw before. No direct evidence. They did find a lot of secret rooms. And there was only very circumstantial physical evidence in the castle, like a piece of human bone. They believed that this piece of human bone possibly belonged to Julia Connor, one of his side relationships. Remains of her daughter, Pearl, a burned gold watch chain, a burned dress, apparently belonging to Minnie, and some human, a tuft of human female hair found in a chimney. So that was all very circumstantial, and they couldn't link these deaths to Holmes. What I can tell you, but I can show you though, is that they did find some teeth. I think they found them in it was either a chimney or a fireplace, and they belonged to one of the Peitzel kids. If you want to search more about that, you can Google the picture. I can't show it to you, but you can find it online. So yeah, Holmes would be tried for the murder of Peitzel in Philadelphia, which had the clearest case of murder. That was the only case they could actually tie him to. Peitzel and his kids, which was a shame, because that was not the only murder. In October 1895, if my memory serves me right, Holmes was put on a trial in Philadelphia for the murder of Benjamin Pitezel and was found guilty and sentenced to, drumroll, death by hanging. That lovely sketch. During his time in custody, he gave numerous stories to police, once admitting to killing 27 people in Chicago, Indianapolis, Toronto, and 6 attempted murders. Here you can see other names Holmes used to scam people. He was using all of these names. Dude was, I don't know, he was out of his mind. Like, he was methodical, he was smart, he was careful, but not that careful. And you will see, like, you can see why he was not really careful. Like, maybe he thought he was smarter, but he wasn't truly that smart. He later increased the total to more than 130. That's an actual, like, newspaper article from back then. You're getting the real tea. You're getting real, like, pictures from back then. And it was a lot more difficult to find pictures because it's a very, very old case. So we don't have a lot of pictures, we don't have any videos. But yeah, we still have enough, you know. He sold his story to the Hearst Corporation for around I don't know, $8,000 back then, which were worth around $500,000 today, which is a lot of money. He was convicted in 1895. He appealed his case and he lost, which is good. That's good. Holmes died on May 7th, 1896, when he was hanged for the Pitezel murders. That's also an actual picture from back then. You can see Mudgett up there, or Holmes. I don't know, you can call him with both names. He's more well known for his H.H. Holmes name, but you can use whatever. Until his final, moments, until the moment of his death, Holmes remained calm, showing very little signs of fear, anxiety, and depression. Despite this, pay close attention to that, he asked for his coffin to be contained in concrete and buried 10 feet deep because he was concerned grave robbers would steal his body. I mean, he was a grave robber himself back in the days, right? So he knew. Roughly 34 years old at his death, the Beast of Chicago was buried in Philadelphia. Estimates of the total number of Holmes, of people he killed range from 20 to as many as 200 victims. Dude was insane. He was crazy. He was really, really insane. I mean, with other cases that I've read about, while I was making research, he seemed to be the darkest of all. There is something so deeply inhumane about him that is deeply disturbing. I mean, obviously, all of these cases are extremely disturbing, but there's something about him I cannot explain. Like, all I see here is a very dysfunctional family, and it really started with the family. Because obviously his parents were this way because their parents made them this way, right? And he turned out to be like that, but not his brothers and sisters. He was the third born child of the family. And I think he had another 4 siblings, 4 or 5 siblings. I think he had another 5. He was the only one turning out to be like this. And the thing is, all of them suffered in the same household, but somehow he was the only one turning out to be a serial killer. H.H. Holmes is actually the first serial killer in America. There always has to be a black sheep, exactly. Always. Like, it's insane. It is. So, what do you think of his crimes? I mean, he was acting like he was smart, but not enough. Obviously, he wasn't smart enough. I mean, he killed all these people, and he thought that, hey, I can go steal a horse and nothing's gonna happen. Because eventually, what moved investigators to go after him was horse theft. That's what moved them to investigate him, because he had a huge price on his head. Which means police and investigators back then thought horse theft was way more important than, actual murders, because this guy had killed so many people before and no one did anything. Yes, he was briefly jailed for fraud in St. Louis, but and also Marion Hedgebeth alerted the police for the fraud scheme, and that still was not enough to get him behind bars. That was not enough. It was the horse theft. These are the kind of details that actually make me mad when I read these. Like, they make me super mad. Yeah, no one gave a single flying fuck about him until that. I mean, they were not aware he was killing people. They were alerted he was responsible for fraud and scamming people. He was briefly jailed at some point. But, eventually the horse theft was what moved everyone. A hydrate and a posture check. Thank you. Let me drink. Thank you. We do not have the scares today. Today we're chilling. We are doing a very relaxed thing. It would be very unfair for me to have the scare. So, yeah. I think we can move on to the legacy and cultural impact. Very relaxed. I don't know, is the volume okay? Like, is the voice okay? I don't know. I'm not standing too close. Okay, it's good, it's good. I could be way closer, but I would have to whisper. And I don't know if that sounds okay. Like, I could stand slightly closer and actually read you the story like that, but I would have to keep my voice way lower to do that. But yeah. Yeah, horses were way more important than fraud back then. ASMR. Welcome to After Dark with Kenway. I don't think I have the ASMR tag under my stream though. Yeah, I don't think I have it. But it's fine. It's okay. It's totally fine. Hi, seller. Hello. Should I add it now? Let me see. I'm not sure. Okay, please tell me that my Twitch is gonna be muted. Okay, looks like it's muted. Means I can okay. I think it's done. I think it's done. I think I did it. You mean 1 a.m. AF? Because for me it's midnight right now. And we are not even halfway done. We are not even halfway done. Hi to left. Hello. Also, how you doing, Stellar? How you doing? For me it's midnight right now. How are you doing to left? Well, let's hope I will not get nuked off of Twitch and that they won't ban me. If my channel doesn't exist tomorrow, it was a pleasure to be here. You were sick for 2 weeks? Oh. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's I think it's that season that starts getting a lot colder and you can catch a cold a lot easier. Were you here from the beginning to left? Because we will be done with H.H. Holmes in a bit. And we will move to the second case, which is The Son of Sam. I'm very happy you enjoy the music, Bellamy. We struggled a bit. We had to change it and change the pitch. Because it was getting muted because it's copyrighted. No, we are almost done with this case and then we're gonna move to the second one. We are covering 2 serial killers today. That's what we are doing. And I have a lot more content for the second one. But hang in there. Not 1, but 2 serial killers. I mean, yeah, of course the story is very short. I was always interested in like the psychology behind them, and I think it's interesting. Yeah, fascinated by the human mind. Um, I mean, H.H. Holmes is such an old case, so he doesn't have a lot of content to work with. But the next one we will be talking about shortly has a lot more content. So it's a little bit bigger, you know. I'm not. Have a good time to left. Enjoy. Um, and I found a very nice way to connect these two, H.H. Holmes and the Son of Sam. As you see, H.H. Holmes actually sold his story and made money off of it. And that is something that was prevented with our next serial killer. So I found this link between them and decided to connect the stories. Obviously, The Son of Sam is a newer story, obviously. Yeah, we are not done with H.H. Holmes yet. We're gonna move on to legacy and cultural impact. So, the castle itself, the murder castle that you see on your screen, was damaged by a fire in August 1895. The building survived the fire and remained in use. It is said that people tried to burn it down so that it won't become a museum because it had a very, very dark past. I mean, I get their point. It was a horrible place, and people didn't want to remember it. In 1937, the building, the exact building that you see right now, was sold to the US government, who demolished the site in 1938 and opened the now Eaglewood Post Office. That's how the building looks like today. That's the Eaglewood Post Office. There is also an amazing French film called Delicatessen, and it has a plot very similar to Holmes's story, with a mad hotel owner who murders his hotel guests. You should definitely check it out. It's a very underrated movie. Holmes, as a case, he also appeared in the second season of Supernatural, episode 6, called No Exit. And now we're going to my favorite part that I absolutely love. And if you know me, you know that I love these games. H.H. Holmes' horrifying story has also inspired modern media, such as the video game The Devil in Me, part of the Dark Pictures anthology series by Supermassive Games. Supermassive, if you're listening to this, I absolutely love you. You know that I have already played that game twice in this channel. I love it. It's amazing. And they actually took the line "The Devil in Me." It's how we started the episode, because of the line that Holmes said himself. I was born with a devil in me. I was born with evil standing by the bed where I came into the world, and it has been with me ever since. And that's a very, very chilling thing to say. The game draws on Holmes' infamous murder castle, as you may know, allowing players to explore a similar deadly hotel filled with traps and hidden dangers, bringing his horrifying legacy into the world of interactive horror entertainment. I love Supermassive for that. I love the concept. Like, absolutely. You can see how he looks like in game. In 2017, pay attention to that, because that's recent. That's very recent. In 2017, during allegations, Holmes had escaped execution. Holmes's body was exhumed for testing. Due to his coffin contained in concrete, his body was found to not have decomposed normally. His clothes were almost perfectly preserved, and his mustache was found to be intact. The body was positively identified by his teeth as being that of Holmes. It was then reburied. Now, there is a picture online that you can see the actual body in concrete, okay? I can't show you that for obvious reasons, because Twitch is gonna nuke me off the earth. But you can Google that and you can see for yourself, but I can show you that. Dude was indeed buried in concrete because he asked to be buried in concrete 10 feet deep into the ground, and they did it. They did it. You can go and find the picture yourself, so I'm not gonna show it to you. That was chilling. Like, as I was doing my research, I was creeped out by that. Like, seriously creeped out. But yeah, that's him, and like, I don't know. You can see in the picture that he looks, I don't know, I can't explain it. I really cannot explain it. Like, do you think that he knew what he was doing? I don't know. I'm just, oh my god.
I think we've heard quite enough.
Enough? Oh, I've barely begun, Your Honor. You don't seem to understand. I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer any more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing. Bury me deep, Your Honor. Make sure they fill my pine box with cement. Put me deeper than anyone else. And cover the ground with more cement, 'cause trust me, just being dead ain't enough to stop me from killing again.
He sounded very chilling, very creepy, didn't he? Do you think he, like, his early life experiences influenced his later actions? Do you think the way he turned out to be like that was because of the way he grew up? Like, because of his family and his parents and how they treated him? Like, I know it can be a very triggering thing if you've never heard of him before, you know? Like, he also confessed to more murders that they were able to tie him to. Like, was he playing mind games? Was he like, was it his ego? Like, You can't really tell. You can't really tell. And most likely, if it wasn't for the Peitzel family, you know, the murders of the Peitzel family, he would have gotten away. He would have gotten away because they wouldn't have any murder to tie him to. And that's highly disturbing. Like, very disturbing. Like, he was greedy, but greed turned out to be something way worse eventually. Like, sometimes I think that if the murder castle had been preserved as a historical site, like, would you dare to take a tour in there and see the actual thing? Would you? I think I would. I don't know. I would like to take a tour. But unfortunately, all we have now is a post office. But it's okay. It's totally fine. So that was basically his story. No, these are not long enough. Because of the way I read, and we don't have too many details. But yeah, what do you think of him? What do you think of his story and what he did? What's your opinion? I'd like to know. Because after that, we're going to move on to the next case. And the next case has a lot of information. Like, I had to leave out so much. Is like, it has like so many things and so many details. The next one is sure a big story, and you will also see some videos that I have collected. The thing with H.H. Holmes is that at the time there were no legal barriers preventing criminals from, you know, selling their stories and profiting off of them. You know, making money off their heinous acts. But that actually changed with our next story, which takes place in the 70s. Like, the main key events and crimes happened in the 70s, and that's when this whole thing changed with how we treat criminals and their right to profit off of their stories. That's how it changed. So if you're ready, we can move on to our next and final case that has a lot of things that we can talk about. Let me introduce you to a very famous case. I am a monster. I am the son of Sam. Now, some of you may have heard the story, some of you may not. But bear with me, because it's a lot, and you will definitely be able to tell how mentally disturbed that person is. And there's a lot of content for discussion at the end of the stream. And I really want your opinions on that when we are done. But we have a long way to go. Oh, Sam, the dog, and Satan. David Berkowitz was born Richard David Falco in June 1st, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. Within few days of his birth, his biological mother, Elizabeth Betty Broder, gave the child away. The infant was adopted by Pearl and Nathan Berkowitz of the Bronx that you see in the picture. The couple were Jewish hardware store retailers of modest means and childless in middle age. The couple loved and cared for him, and they never mistreated him. Okay, so they loved him, they adored little David. They actually switched his name because he was born Richard David, and they switched it and turned it into David Richard. I don't know why would you do that, because it's the same two names, but whatever floats their boat, right? In fact, everyone said that little David was rather spoiled by his parents' affection. He was an average student who was shy and quiet. He had no friends, although he made some tentative attempts to talk to his classmates. In the end, however, he was always alone and was frequently bullied for being Jewish. You can see the family tree. Betty Broder is his biological mother. Joseph Kleinman, his biological father, who was not in the picture. Okay? You can also see Tony Falco. So the reason why David took Falco's last name was because when Betty got involved with Joseph Kleinman, Joseph was married. So Joseph had an affair with Betty. Hi Robo, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? So Betty and Joseph had an affair when Joseph was married, and they had Richard. But Joseph didn't want to raise a child. And by the time Richard was born, his mother was dating Tony Falco, so Richard took his last name. I'm doing good, Rob, I'm doing good. We are doing the live vodcast, and we're currently reading the second story. And we will be taking a break between sections to chat. Yeah, you can see Nathan and Pearl, his adoptive parents. Like that was the family tree that we have right now. That's what we know. Although of above average intelligence, he lost interest in his education at an early age and became infatuated with petty larceny and starting fires. Now, hold on to that detail, because the starting fires thing, that's gonna be huge later on. That's gonna be huge. Neighbors and relatives would recall Berkowitz as difficult, spoiled, and a bully occasionally. His adoptive parents consulted at least a psychotherapist due to his misconduct. but it was never that serious to actually turn into something. Like, he was never expelled or anything. He lost his adoptive mother at the age of 14. And the loss worsened his already troubled teenage years. That was his adoptive mother. He lost her to cancer at the age of 14. He began committing petty thefts at local stores. Like, he was a difficult and occasionally violent child. His erratic behavior, which began after the death of his adoptive mother, intensified when his adoptive father remarried in 1971 because David didn't like his new wife, his father's new wife. The same year, when he turned 18, he joined the United States Army and served at Fort Knox in the US and with an infantry division in South Korea, where he became an excellent marksman. So yeah, South Korea, huh? He spent the last years of his service in Virginia, where he lived in a Baptist community, but he quickly converted, but a year later he lost all interest in religion. After being discharged, he reached out to people and he searched for and found his biological parents. He learned that his mother, Betty Broder, had given him up for adoption because his father, Joseph Kleinman, that I showed you before, with whom she was not married, did not want to raise a child. Although his reunion with his biological mother was warm, Berkovitz did not maintain contact. And I'm going to explain to you why. He felt that his parents had abandoned him, and this deepened his sense of isolation. He felt lonely. He found out that his birth father was deceased and had been extremely reluctant to play any role in his life. Have a good night, Jamie. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Like, that whole thing left him feeling very disappointed and unwanted. You know, Berkovitz was reportedly even more distraught by the news that he was basically a product of an affair. He was born because of an affair. I mean, the reason why things got worse after he lost his adoptive mother because he was extremely close with her, his adoptive mother. He was very close with her in a way that he could never be with his real mother, you know. And when he realized that it was not the same with his birth mother, he felt shattered. I mean, I get some serious issues here. I get some serious mommy and daddy issues from him. And I can already tell, like, I'm gonna tell you something. I already knew why he was killing and why he was picking specific victims the moment I read that about his adoptive mother and his birth mother. I knew exactly the reason why. But I'm not gonna reveal it to you yet. If you know what it is, write it in chat. But I'm gonna tell you later, once we explore the story a bit more. He attended Bronx Community College for 1 year, enrolling in the spring of 1975. He had several non-professional jobs, and at the time of his arrest, he was working as a letter sorter of the United States Postal Office, or Postal Service. In 1976, he moved into an apartment in New York. This was when his pyromania developed. You know, things are getting hot. Things are getting hot. According to him, he started 1,488 fires in New York City in the mid-70s, and described each one in detail in his own diaries. I mean, I would love to see these diaries, like, show me. Like, he described 1,488 fires in detail. That's a lot of pages. He said that he loved the moment when he called for help and the fire department arrived. He felt like his words had meaning, like he wasn't alone anymore. From the window of his apartment, Berkovitz could see his neighbor Samkar's yard. That's the yard. Car's dog, Harvey, this black, cute guy over here that you see on your screen, is the dog in the story. So Harvey was barking constantly, and that enraged Berkovitz. Berkovitz anonymously sent threatening letters to Carr, that you also see on your screen, saying he would kill his dog. He later shot at the dog but missed. You're gonna be very thankful that he was really shit at aiming most of the time. Samkar became the Sam Berkovitz mentioned in his letters. Of course, the description of Father Sam's behavior was entirely imaginary and had no basis in reality. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. According to Berkovitz, the dog barking was the commands of Satan ordering him to go out and kill. Berkovitz obeyed, bought a pistol, and began the murders. I mean, with his hit rate, you would think Berkovitz was getting instructions from a slightly nearsighted chihuahua and not a demonic dog. I mean, if you read the story, that's what it looks like. I'm sorry, that's what it looks like. Always make fun of the killers and the criminals. So yeah. We have someone who saw a dog and thinks that the dog is the voice of Satan. This is already going downhill from there, okay? This is not a good start. You need to understand that this is not a good start. He's hearing voices when the dog is barking. Or at least, he claimed he did. At least he claimed he did. Let's move on with the crimes. That's him. The criminal who terrorized New York with dozens of murders and 1,488 arsons. That still surprises me that he set so many fires and no one bats an eye. You will be furious once I tell you how they caught him. You're gonna be mad. He claimed that he was taking orders from his neighbor's possessed dog, right? He claimed he was hearing voices telling him to kill. I mean, most of us hear the fridge calling our name at midnight, but I guess his voices were a little bit more intense, right? His first attempt at murder was with a knife. Then he switched to a 44 caliber, and that's where he got his other name. But the handgun was a 44 special caliber bulldog revolver. You can Google the name and find the weapon. I can't show you that, obviously. But yeah. Berkowitz claimed he was 22 when he committed his first attack on Christmas Eve, 1975, when he used a hunting knife to stab 2 women in Co-op City. His first alleged victim was never identified by police. The second one was 15-year-old Michelle, whom he stabbed 6 times and whose injuries were serious enough to be hospitalized for a week. He stabbed her 6 times, and they said it was serious enough to keep her in a hospital for a week. If I stumble and fall down, I'm gonna be in a hospital for a month. Are you kidding me? You will be impressed how lucky some people were back then. Like, very, very, very lucky. Inox, hello, welcome. On July 29, 1976, he killed 18-year-old Donna with a bullet to the head. His next victim, 19-year-old Jody, was shot in her thigh, and a third bullet missed both women. He survived and described the shooter to the police. He described him as a white male in his 30s with a fair complexion, about 5'8". His hair was short, dark and curly in a mod style. So now that they had like a, faint description, this same description was used by Donna's father, who claimed to have seen a similar man sitting in a yellow compact car parked nearby. Now, I want you to take your notes out and write down the detail about the yellow car, because you will never guess how useful that is. Neighbors gave similar reports to the police that an unfamiliar yellow compact car had been cruising the area for hours before the shooting. The bullets he used became his signature. They came from a 44 caliber pistol. I mean, dude was stupid enough that he used special bullets like the ones they use inside airplanes so that the bullets won't pierce the plane's walls. Which is very, very specific, right? That's very specific. But yeah, dude was not smart. Not smart. That's the area of the Bronx where the first shooting happened with Donna and Jody, as you can see. By the way, all of the pictures and images you will see are from there, from back then, and they were all taken from the internet. They're public. You can also see them for yourself. That's the first sketch they actually had after the description they were given, which was not that accurate, I must say. On October 23rd, 1976, yeah, this is the son of Sam Knox. On October 23rd, 1976, he shot 25-year-old Carl and 28-year-old Rosemary. But did not kill them. Rosemary had only superficial injuries, but Carl eventually needed a metal plate to replace a portion of his skull. But he lived. That's also the area that you see Forest Hills Gardens in Queens. And that's where this shooting happened. Neither victim saw the attacker this time. Many details of this case, of this, shooting, were very similar to the first one, but police did not initially associate them. Mostly because the shootings happened in different areas and were being investigated by different police precincts. Okay. We will be having a break after that section. On November 27th, 1976, 16-year-old Donna was shot in the neck but survived. I mean, I'm very thankful that his aim was shit. Most of the times. Not always, but I'm very thankful that at least some people got lucky, Her friend, 18-year-old Joanne, was left paralyzed for the rest of her life. But they both lived. So it's okay. It's something. They have their life. On July... do we have anything for July? Oh yeah, we do. You have to see that. Oh, let's move on. On January 1977, he shot 30-year-old John Deal, and 28-year-old Christine, his fiancée. Deal survived, but Christine died 36 hours later in the hospital. Police made the first acknowledgement that this shooting was very similar to earlier incidents and that the crimes might be connected. On March 8, 1977, 1997 was his year. Dude. A lot of things happened in 1977. So, on March 8, 1977, he killed 19-year-old Virginia, that you see on your screen right now. A bullet pierced through the books she held up as a shield in front of her face and lodged in her skull. She was walking on the street. She was having her books in her hands, and when he approached her and took out the gun, she raised her hands to cover herself with the books. And this one specifically makes me really, really mad. Because it's atrocious. It's a heinous thing to do. Like, what a horrible crime. Among the others, obviously. On March 10th, 1977, circulation increased dramatically for the New York Post and the Daily News, tabloid newspapers with graphic crime reporting and commentary. the New York police announced that over 300 detectives and officers would be on the city all day, every day, until the perpetrator was caught. That was the biggest thing they have ever done. On April 17th, 1977, 18-year-old Valentina was shot dead by an unknown man. Next to her, 20-year-old Alexander was still alive when police arrived. He died a few hours later at the hospital. At the crime scene, a letter was found addressed to Joseph, the head of the police department. Among other things, it read, "I am a monster. I am the son of Sam. I'm like a little brat. When Father Sam gets drunk, he becomes very mean. He hates his family. Sam loves to drink blood. Go out and kill, Father Sam orders. I feel like an outsider. I'm in a different world than everyone else, programmed to kill. Stop me. You must kill me. Father Sam is getting old." And this was signed, the son of Sam. From the letter, it was clear, obviously, that whoever the perpetrator was, they certainly had serious psychological problems. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Really? We couldn't tell. Yeah, we couldn't tell so far that he was seriously not okay. The killer's unusual attitude towards the police and the media received widespread scrutiny. After consulting with several psychiatrists, the police released a psychological profile of their suspect on May 26, 1977. He was described as a neurotic who probably had paranoid schizophrenia and believed himself to be a victim of demonic possession. Well, at least that's what he claimed or appeared to be. On May 3rd, he sent a second letter, this time to journalist Jimmy of the New York Daily News. The perpetrator thanked him for giving so much attention to his case and asked him to not forget Donna.
I am doomed, but I do not think that I will not tell the authorities of you. I will. True, I am the killer, but Craig, the killing...
Donna was one of the victims, and in that letter, the perpetrator thanked him for giving so much attention to his case and asked him to not forget Donna because she was a very, very sweet girl. But Sam is thirsty and won't let me stop killing until he's had his fill of blood, he wrote. At the end, he promised to buy new shoes for all the policemen when they caught him. Like, he was making fun of the police. He was basically begging for their attention. He kept sending them letters, talking to them. Yeah, he was fucked up. He was. I mean, he was like oversharing, right? Forget social media. He was already on that let me send dramatic letters to everyone kind of vibe. You know, he had a constant need for attention. Like, the last letter he sent to journalist Jimmy was sophisticated in his wording and presentation, especially when compared to the cruel to the cruel way the first one was written. The police suspected it might have been created in an art studio or similar professional location by someone with expertise in printing, calligraphy, or graphic design. No further comment on that. Moving on. Oh, he would definitely enjoy Twitter, believe me. On June 26, 1977, he shot 20-year-old Sal that you see on the very right of your screen, and 17-year-old Judy. Sal was wounded in the right forearm, while Judy was shot in the right temple, shoulder, and back of the neck. Both victims survived. I'm telling you, this lady that you see on your screen over here was shot 3 times. Right temple, shoulder, in the back of her neck, and she was a bad bitch that she survived. Girl, ow. I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed, actually. On July 1977, she was a girl boss. He killed 20-year-old Stacy that you see on your screen and shot Robert, who was left blind from the bullet that lodged into his left eye. In fact, Stacy was his only blonde victim. I mean, he sent letters to the police and media during his killing spree. He kept taunting the police. He kept setting fires. That man, David Berkowitz, said 1,488 fires in the 70s, like mid-70s. Yep, she was a girl boss, like three bullets, shoulder, temple, and back of the neck. And she survived. Like, girl, wow. I mean, honestly, between this and the demonic dog, the real crime might have been his constant need for attention. I truly believe that, you know. And I'm gonna tell you why, in a bit. Like, it doesn't make any sense that Stacy that you see on your screen was his only blonde victim, and why this is mentioned. Oh, you're gonna be really happy with how this ends. You're gonna be very satisfied with how this ends. But you're gonna be seriously pissed on how they caught this guy. They didn't catch him for his crimes. It was a very stupid reason. But I'm gonna tell you. So you can see like all of these areas. Are you, like, you need to tell me if you're okay. After this one, we're gonna have a break between the sections before we talk about the capture and trial, and we can freely talk. So there, on your screen, you can see the entire area of all the shootings that happened. it's a very large area. These were basically all of his victims. That's him. That's actually him, and that's some of his victims. Like, dude was definitely out of it. Definitely out of it. Yeah. We are free to trash talk about him. And, are you okay, Nox? Are you okay? Are you alright? Before we move on with the capture and trial. Because that's a lot. That's a lot of things to discuss. That's a lot of things. Especially the ending is something that pissed me off, and it still pisses me off to this day. And I cannot believe that this is how people see it. Oh my god. Is everyone alright? Like, did anyone get hurt? That is extremely dangerous. I'm really scared to walk under balconies. 40. Oh my. Holy. I'm so sorry for that. That gave me shivers. That actually gave me. That gave me shivers. Like the bad ones. Oh wow. Oh, that's why you said procrastination saved it. Saved the day today. That is awful. Now this added more to my fear of walking under balconies. Because let me tell you, here in Greece, almost every sidewalk has balconies on top of it. So you're always walking under a balcony. Oh, that is awful. That is awful. That is extremely awful, actually. Oh, wow. Good thing you did not. Yep. Like, too much money. Probably not today. That saved you. I'm so happy you're okay. I'm so sad. Like, I'm really shocked for the people that lost their life. That is awful. That is awful. But at least you're okay. I have to Google the incident after. I have to. Also, I've seen what's happening in Valencia, in Spain. That is completely devastating. I don't know if I will be able to see it, to see the video. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if I will be able to watch that, honestly. Yeah, that would be too much. That would be awful. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do it too. I'll go light a candle. We also do that here. Like, yeah, they also do that here in case of an accident like that. But I may go and light a candle at a church. You know, I don't believe, but, you know, it's still something. Oh my god. When they actually do that, and they partially renovate stuff, that's horrible. Like when they partially renovate old buildings and they leave out parts of it that they don't renovate. Why? That's going to be dangerous. I'm sure they had enough to also renovate that part. I'm sure they had enough. Oh yeah. Of course, they always do that. They always go out for the cheap options, try to avoid spending too much so that they can pocket the difference. Yeah. I know. That is awful. Yeah, I bet, yeah, it will never be published. Yeah, they will try to, like, take it under a carpet, like, keep it hidden. That's what they always do. That's awful. That's truly awful. Exactly. These people will not come back. It will not bring their lives back. Their families will never get closure. They will never feel at peace. It's horrendous. It's awful. Oh my god. Like, just try to, you know, take it easy for today. Just take it easy. It's okay to feel this way. It's the only normal reaction anyone can have. I'm thankful it wasn't you under there. I'm thankful for that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that too. That would be very, very traumatizing. As I've seen something in real time, and I'm telling you, it never leaves you. It never does. I was actually I was downtown in my city, and, you know, right across the street there's a hotel, and there was a lady standing very close to the railing of the balcony, and she fell. But it was an accident because she slipped. And I was there. I saw it from across the street. It was ugly. I'm very, very happy you were not there to see something that horrible. Yeah. just try to take it easy for today. Try to sit down, try to relax as much as you can. Like, I'm really, really sorry. I hope I do not get banned after tonight's stream. If anyone from Twitch is watching, this is purely for, you know, educational purposes. You know, I'm avoiding any disturbing words and disturbing language and images. I avoid all of them. You know, because obviously you can freely talk about stuff like that and, you know, have conversations in YouTube comments if you have a video on YouTube, but Twitch is a lot more strict when it comes to these. I basically had to rewrite the entire stories and take out any, you know, disturbing words or descriptions. And obviously I can't show you like real pictures from the bodies and the weapons and stuff, because I don't know if that's bannable or not. Probably is. I mean, in a video game, seeing a gun is okay because it's a video game, but I can't show you a picture of a real one because that changes things. And I want to be safe. I just want to be safe. Yeah, like, you do not know how people will use that kind of information you're showing them. But yeah. Like, some people are disturbed and you don't know how they may perceive what you're doing. Yeah, you can DM it to me. You can DM it to me. Should we continue with the capture and trial? I had to cut so much out of the story for that one, because honestly, his story is huge. Because dude is still alive to this day, okay? So, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's... I don't even know if I have the right vocabulary in my brain to actually describe this. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Yeah, it looks new and it looks safe. It does. Oh my god. That is awful. That is awful. Now, I will prefer to walk in the middle of the street. I will prefer to walk in the middle of the street from now on. That's going to be safer. I mean, not in Greece, probably, but... You know, in Greece, you're not even safe in the sidewalk. Oh boy. Oh boy. This must have been so unstable that the weight of the structure just collapsed. Oh my god, that is... That is actually awful. Oh boy. That is really, really awful. I'm so, so happy you did not. I'm so, so relieved you did not. Oh my god, that would be... Oh my god, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think about this, honestly. That's very disturbing. Try to relax as much as you can. Don't think about this. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah, no one's gonna get punished for that. But at least, we can move on to David Berkowitz getting hit by karma itself, you know. We can see how he was held responsible for what he did. Shall we? I don't know if I'm trying to lighten the mood by talking about this murder case. That's all I have right now. That's all I have, okay? That's all I have. That's all I can give you right now to take your mind off of what happened today. So, for an entire year, thank you for sharing, and I'm really, really glad you're okay. For an entire year, Son of Sam terrorized New York. His victims were always young couples or girls with long brown hair. It was obvious that he didn't like seeing people happy or in love or beautiful girls he couldn't have. He killed 6 people and injured 8. The NYPD launched one of the largest manhunts in the city's history, involving over 300 detectives and officers. Despite the chaos and fear, Berkowitz remained elusive for months. Witnesses to the attacks gave police a rough description of a chubby man with light curly hair, but there were few solid leads. Now, I want us to okay, let's see where the picture is. There we go. Let's go back to this one. Let's go back to this picture. Doesn't really look like him, but you know, that's all they had. You know, I'm gonna tell you now the reason why he was picking these victims, okay? Because as you may remember, Stacy was his only blonde victim. So the reason why he was, I don't know if he reminds me of someone I know. Not sure. Like, basically, his adoptive mother, they had a great relationship, but he lost her at the age of 14. His birth mother, he was disappointed because he didn't feel the same connection he had with his adoptive mother. And he was very disappointed by his birth mother. Because of that, they didn't have the same connection. So his reason for picking these victims, these girls with, you know, long brown hair, was because he felt hatred for his birth mother. And it's like, surprise, surprise, that's very obvious. I mean, if you've seen a few crime shows, It's very obvious. But he was also feeling rejected by women in general, so that added to the hatred he felt. Most of the survivors gave the police the same description of the perpetrator, and that's where the sketch came from. Many witnesses also remembered a yellow car. This car. Ultimately, a woman named Cecilia Davis saw a nervous man walking near the spot where the last victim was murdered. The man, who was about 5'8", with bushy hair, he was around 175, okay? With bushy hair, had received a parking ticket for parking his yellow 1974 Galaxy sedan illegally. The ticket was in the name of David Berkowitz. Now, it pisses me off, but imagine bringing down a serial killer because they parked illegally. That's how they connected him to his murders. I mean, maybe he was a good driver, okay. But because he parked illegally, what's the name of these things on the side of the street that have water inside? You know, it's a very old system. At least we no longer use it in Greece, but it's one of these things on the side of the, on the sidewalk that they have water for firemen to use it. But I forgot the name. And I actually forgot to write it down on my notes. Great. He parked in front of one of these. And that's why he got a parking ticket. And because he got a parking ticket and he was parked in the area near the last victim was killed, that's why they started investigating him. Are you pissed? I am pissed. I'm actually pissed. Let me take a sip of water. Let's continue. The police arrested Berkowitz on August 10th, 1977. You can see on your screen the ticket he got. That's the real ticket he got. The ticket itself. He was arrested in his apartment building at 35 Pine Street in Yonkers, 11 days after his last murder. And that's the video of the car. The killer followed them without any resistance and confessed everything. During his arrest, Berkowitz chillingly said, "You got me. I am the son of Sam." Inside his car, police found the .44 caliber revolver used in the murders. He described each attack in detail and blamed everything on some car's possessed dog. Police searched Berkowitz's apartment and found it in, it was basically trash. Yes, the fire hydrant. Yes. The fire hydrant, exactly. He parked illegally near one of these bitches. So they found his apartment trashed with satanic graffiti on the walls. That's a picture that you see on your screen from his arrest. They also found his diaries he had kept since he was aged 21, 3 stenographers' notebooks, nearly all full, where Berkowitz meticulously noted hundreds of fires throughout the New York City. Now, I'm gonna mention it one more time. Berkowitz said around 1,488 fires in New York City in the mid-70s. He had a thing for fire. Like, dude. He had mommy issues, daddy issues, anything for fires. He's checking all the lists here. Like, okay. Exactly. He set so many fires and he got caught because of a freaking parking ticket. I was screaming while I was doing my research. Well, I was not screaming, but I was face palming myself while I was reading these. So the thing is, Berkowitz himself confessed he was the Phantom of Bronx, an identified individual responsible for more than 2,000 arsons committed around the city throughout the 70s. I mean, everyone says that it was very, very easy to be a criminal in the 70s, at least in New York. Like, okay, Jesus. Berkowitz was interrogated for about 30 minutes in the early morning of August 11th, 1977. He pleaded guilty to the 6 murders on June 12, 1978, and he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for each one of them. So do the math, 25 years for each murder, and he pleaded guilty to 6 murders. So do the math, please. And he has to serve them consecutively. He avoided a trial by immediately admitting his guilt, thus preventing the need for a drawn-out court process. I mean, I don't know, how much is it? 25 multiplied by 6? Yeah, 150 years. Dude is not getting out ever. He's not getting out ever. His defense team did not argue for insanity. Despite his claims of being driven by demonic voices, at a press conference in February 1979, however, Berkowitz declared his previous claims of demonic possession were a hoax, were fake. Like, if you see the dog, like the dog Berkowitz claimed was giving him orders to go out and kill because it was Satan talking to him, it's a very sweet, like, black Labrador named Henry. Or not Henry, Harvey. His name was Harvey. A lot of names today. His name was Harvey, and he was like such a sweet dog. In 1979, he sent a letter to psychiatrist David. That's the letter you see on your screen right now, who had examined him, in which he admitted he had lied about some car's dog. He had never believed the dog was giving him orders. So he basically said that, the dog was you know, never giving him orders from the devil, and had created the story to justify his actions. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You don't say. In reality, he wrote, he killed, because he felt rejected by the world, especially by women and his mother. No shit, Sherlock. Wow. That's the dog. That's Harvey. That's Harvey. And that's the family. Like the gentleman you see is Mr. Carr, Sam Carr. He was basically David's, it was Berkowitz's neighbor. It was his neighbor. And he would listen to the dog barking. And he was getting really pissed because the dog was making noise. And then he started saying that the dog barking was the voice of Satan telling him to go out and commit the murders. Such bullshit. It's a puppy. It's such a sweet dog. You know. Like, you can see that this man is not insane. He's not crazy. But he's not well in his mind. Okay, he's not. Like, it's insane. Truly crazy. The thing is, the ending of that, well, we have a lot to talk about still, but the way people treat him today, it made me mad. It made me angry. It made me so mad. You will see why. Oh, legacy. We know he's guilty, and people know he's guilty. But you will see how stupid people can get. How brain-dead people can get. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's the truth. There are many people around us, and some people are stupid, you know. That's a fact. It's not an offense, it's a straight-up fact. In 1979, there was an attempt on Berkowitz's life in which he felt he left side of his neck was slashed from the front to back, resulting in a wound that required more than 50 stitches to close. He was in prison, by the way, when this happened. He has transferred around many prisons and correctional facilities throughout his life, because he has been serving for years now. Yeah, I do too. He's not crazy. He knows very well what he did, but he does not understand what it caused. Like, his brain cannot understand what responsibility of actions means. Like, what his actions caused. He doesn't care. He cannot understand the concept of that. Berkowitz refused to identify his assailant, and he claimed that he was grateful for the attack. It brought a sense of justice, or in Berkowitz's words, the punishment I deserve. I mean, that seems like a really good PR for me. At his 2016 hearing, Berkowitz stated that while his parole was unrealistic, he felt he had improved himself behind bars, adding, "I feel like I'm no risk whatsoever." His lawyer, Mark Heller, noted that prison staff considered Berkowitz to be a model prisoner. Commissioners denied his parole. Good. His 12th parole hearing was denied in May 2024. This year. His 12th parole was denied a few months back. Oh, trust me, Nox, you will be furious. You will be furious. You will be furious for the stupidest of reasons. Not even for money. Not even that. Ahead of his hearing, he did admit to the Post he knew he had no chance of getting granted parole, but still attended the hearing. Do not attend a hearing can be viewed as being defiant towards authority, and that's not me, Berkowitz said. Most of all, I attend in order to openly apologize for my past crimes and to express my remorse. He added, his next parole hearing is scheduled for May 2026. That's him. I think that was a few years back, I believe. It's not from this year or last year. In 2002, during the DC sniper attacks, Berkowitz wrote a letter telling the sniper to stop hurting innocent people. Again, it sounds to me that Berkowitz studied a little bit of PR in prison. You know, like a true narcissist. Sort of. Hugo Harmatz self-published his own collection of letters which he had obtained from Berkowitz during the consultations. Berkowitz sued him and stated that he would drop the lawsuit only if the attorney signed over all the money he made to the victims' families. So all of a sudden, he has a change of heart. And he's like, oh, we were having consultations together, but you're trying to publish what I told you about what I did, and I don't want you to make money off of my crimes, so you should give the money to the victims' families. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I call bullshit. Exactly. I call bullshit. He doesn't care about the families. Because actually, he has a lot of videos of interviews he did online, and you can find every single one of them on YouTube. In these interviews, you can see that he briefly mentions the victims and the families, and he's always talking about himself. He enjoys the attention. There is also a film called Summer of Sam that was out in 1999, that it's a very good one to see if you're interested. Yeah, exactly, but he doesn't care. In 1993, Berkowitz claimed that he had been part of a satanic cult and that some of the murders were carried out by other members of this group. This led to a re-examination of the case in 1996, but no new evidence emerged, so they dropped the case. In 1987, Berkowitz was baptized as a Christian, reported for his actions, and said, he basically repented for what he did, and he said his name was no longer Son of Sam. Look at him. Look at him. But yeah. again, in 1978, Berkowitz, as I mentioned, was baptized as a Christian. He repented for his actions, asked for forgiveness, and he basically rebranded a bit. You know, the killer turns around and finds God. Oh, this is gonna get better because he changed his name from Son of Sam to Son of Hope. You know, I guess after years of being Son of Sam, he thought a little PR rebranding wouldn't hurt his parole chances, right? Maybe he could get parole way easier this way. I don't know, what do you think? Son of Sam is still in prison, claiming responsibility for the murders, and refusing to leave, although his lawyers have repeatedly tried to reduce his sentence. This is a book someone wrote about him. Like, some people, no matter what they believe, okay, I'm not only referring to Christians, okay, I'm just referring to a lot of people, like in general, many people, any people. Because you could be of any religion and still believe that thing, okay, and still support him and that he changed somehow. There is a video specifically that I did not want to include. It was from the American, like, I don't know, some kind of like religion YouTube channel, and they made this edit with one of his interviews, and they were having like clips of like huge text spelling hope, redemption, change, love, and it was like clearly like trying to control people's opinion. Yeah, like the thing is, even though his lawyers tried to reduce his sentence, he's refusing to leave. He's refusing to leave prison. But I'm telling you, if you go under that video, especially that religious one, and you read all the comments, you will be mad as hell. You will be mad. People keep saying that, oh, I can see change in his eyes, I can see remorse, I can see God, I can see change. Like, I'm like, no you don't. Like, from the way he's talking, his micro expressions and everything, you can see he doesn't feel anything. You know, like these comments, but obviously it's the internet, it's YouTube comments. Yeah, you can't find logic on the internet nowadays, you know, you can't do that. It was like, how can you go and say that to those victims? You know? Like, after Berkowitz was arrested, the Son of Sam law was introduced in 1977. When he was captured, he gained massive media attention. It was massive. That's why we have a lot of footage from back then. That's why we have so much content to work with. Berkowitz was infamous not only for his killings, but also for the possibility that he could profit off his story. Yeah, I mean, he's the one who knows what he feels. I can't possibly know how he feels, okay? Um, exactly. Any attention is attention, basically. I'm not the one to decide how he feels. He knows how he feels, but I'm not persuaded personally. I choose to not believe him. But that's me, as Kenway, personally, you know? Um, After his capture, publishers were offering significant amounts of money for his story. And that outraged people. So New York City quickly enacted the law to prevent this. Interesting enough, Berkowitz never actually tried to sell his story and make money off of it. The law, the Son of Sam law, became associated with him due to the public fear. In fact, Berkowitz later said that he didn't want to profit from his crimes and became a born-again Christian while in prison. So, how the Son of Sam law works? Keep in mind that this law has changed a lot over the years. Like different states have a different version, and different countries, have it in a different way. So if a criminal signs a contract to tell their story, whether it's a book, a movie, like a media or any other media format, like an interview, a podcast, anything, the earnings would be frozen by the government. Victims or their families could then file lawsuits for compensation and use these funds, which is, it's good, right? I mean, the laws were created so killers wouldn't make money off of their crimes, which is good. Because let's face it, Berkowitz doesn't need to start his own murder mystery book club in prison. And why would the killers profit off of what they did? That's totally wrong. So obviously, all of these funds belong to the families. Now, the reason why states and countries keep changing that law is because it basically doesn't go well with the freedom of speech. You know, why would you have freedom of speech and, profit off of something like that when you took human lives? You don't deserve it. Like, the way our society works is that if you commit a crime and you step out of line, you need to lose some privileges in order to learn. Like, that's on the bigger spectrum. So, yeah, like, why would he have that right? You know? So here you can see, yeah, exactly. No amount of money can actually, ease what he did. Very important thing is that a mother of a victim, that mother lost all of her kids to different things, and she lost her daughter because she was a victim of his. This mother, just before she passed away, she sent him a letter saying she forgives him. And I think she just wanted to peacefully go without having hate in her heart. But that's just my personal opinion. Here you can see on your screen the Son of Sam law. Like this is a document from summer of 2001 by the Legal Services of New York. You can the vote will be up and you can rewatch it and listen to it. But all of these, if you actually Google them, these are all on the internet. You can find them and read them and see what they say. I mean, I really hope it helped her somehow.
To that. Thought I was doing something to appease the devil. There was just a battle going on inside me. I hate that name. I despise that name.
Which name?
Son of Sam.
Fright.
So, yeah. That was, the Son of Sam. David Berkowitz. You in the video? Yeah, I do have a few, like, but I always end with an unmuted video of the killer speaking. Like, I had to watch some of his interviews to better understand. It's very interesting to hear him speak and see how he moves and how he expresses himself and his micro expressions and hear what he says. He talks about himself a lot. He rarely mentions, you know, he doesn't have an empath side. No, wait. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. The thing is, a person who actually feels bad and feels remorse and is able to feel things will keep talking about the horrible things he caused and how he destroyed people's lives. He doesn't. Like, I'm a highly empathetic person. I'm an empath. And when I watch his interviews, he scared me. Because, you know, when someone is talking and you hear them talk and you see them move and see them express themselves, like if they feel sad, if they feel angry, if they feel happy, you can feel it. They don't have to smile or frown or cry, but from the way they speak and the way they move, you can pretty much tell what emotion they're experiencing. He doesn't. He doesn't experience any emotions. You will even see in one of the interviews that he teared up. And I call bullshit. I call bullshit. You know. I call absolute bullshit. I mean, his constant need, his constant cry for attention from the media, like you could see that he was neglected and a very troubled kid, and the way he grew up and all that. He was trying to feel important, he was trying to feel seen, but he wanted attention because he never got it from his birth family. I don't think he's a changed man. I think it's his attempt to manipulate his image. Even though he doesn't want to leave prison. Like, he doesn't want a reduced sentence, even though he's going to his parole hearings. Like, even if he did change, it won't bring these people back. Like, even if he's the one changing, even if he changed, and he will be able to get redemption one day, the people he took, the lives he took, would never be able to get redemption. And also their families. So, his life will be saved, but not the people he hurt. Yeah, he doesn't deserve to get it reduced. I mean, you've seen other serial killers that actually they do not enjoy giving interviews and talking to journalists and stuff like that. Enjoys the attention. Because there are other serial killers that didn't have that much coverage, and there's not so much content to work with them. Like, one thing I'm actually very impressed is that every single time, every serial killer always looks so normal in their mugshots. Meanwhile, I wake up and I look like I committed a crime if I don't get enough sleep. Oh yeah, that's when they do that. That's when That's when they try to do that. Because they start talking to media to gain the favor of the public. It's okay, Nox. It's okay. It's already late anyways. I was not thinking it was gonna take like almost 3 hours. I thought no one was gonna show up. I thought no one was gonna chat with me today about this, and that it wouldn't even last an hour and a half. Honestly. Like, can you imagine if any of these guys, like H.H. Holmes or David Berkowitz, had social media today? Holmes would be selling pyramid schemes on Instagram, and Son of Sam would be posting dog memes with creepy captions. The thing is, Son of Sam confessed to 6 murders. He did. He wanted to get caught. No, don't apologize, Nox, please. Like, the VOD will be up and you can listen to it anytime. Your safety is important. Your safety is important. But yeah, as long as they can actually attend their parole hearings, they try to be model prisoners every single time. That's what they want to do. That's all they care about. So yeah, what do you think? Like, he was caught because of a parking ticket. It wasn't brilliant police work, it was pure luck. Because he was silly enough to illegally park his yellow sedan. Dude had a car that looked like a lighthouse from afar. He parked his yellow sedan illegally, very close to the site of the last murder. And he tried to attack the woman close to that area. And she saw the car. And many other neighbors saw the car, going up and down the street before the attack. And they were like, you went to plus 4. Yeah, this dude said 1,488 damn fires in New York City. But he got caught because of a freaking parking ticket that was in his name. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, that's insane. That's completely insane. I cannot believe it. Like, wow. But yeah, both of these, both H.H. Holmes and Son of Sam, got caught because of this stupid thing. H.H. Holmes got caught because of horse theft. That's when they started investigating him, because he had a huge price on his head for stealing a horse in Texas. And the Son of Sam got a parking ticket. Thank you for the hydrate too, Meer. I forget. I mean, the only thing I'm sad about is that because I'm talking so much, I can't eat any snacks like I do when I play games. That's the only thing I can do. Or when I design stuff. But hey, I hope you liked this new series, and hopefully I'm always thinking about food. I'm always. Ooh, a Twitter banner. I'm always thinking about food. But I really hope you like this new layout. Oh no, Nox, the popcorn. Like, I really hope this can continue. I really hope we did not violate any Twitch guidelines, and well, if I don't get banned, or if I don't get any email from Twitch about this type of stream, the next one will be in 2 weeks, with maybe 2 or 3 cases again, because these need a lot of work. I have my notes app on my screen right now, and I have a huge thing of text. Yay. I basically had to sit down, read the story, take all the information, rewrite this, avoid any disturbing words and vocabulary, break it down in sections so that we can talk in between. I had to separate the introduction and context, key events and crimes, then move on to capture and trial, and then legacy and cultural impact. I had to basically gather information from many sources and check if everything is correct. So, and then after that, after finishing with all the text, I had to add my notes next to it, next to, every sentence I had, or things I wanted to remember to mention. And then I had to read everything line by line and find pictures for it. So if I am to mention a location, I have to have a picture of said location in that specific time. So yeah, I basically then had to edit the slideshow to match, the way I'm saying the story. But yeah, that's why these will take 2 weeks to come out. Like they will happen every 2 weeks. Because I don't know if a lot of people are gonna be here to basically talk and chat. Because in between sections, I leave a small amount of time to have conversations with everyone and just talk about the case in general and stuff. And if people don't want to talk, I will be moving to the next part. But yeah, it takes research and it's really fun to, dive into all that. I basically made this because I don't have PowerPoint. Okay, what's the name? It's called Microsoft Clipchamp. And because, I do have my notes here, but I don't know for how long I will be talking about something. I basically have to remember when the pictures change and pause every time we move. So if I'm talking about the Son of Sam, I have to pause to a picture of him before the slideshow moves to a totally different picture. Like, if I have a picture of Son of Sam and then a picture of one of his letters, but I'm still talking about him, I have to pause before the scene changes to a picture of his letter. And I need to remember how many pictures I placed before that. Yeah, I was originally gonna use Filmora for that presentation and be able to see when the slides change, but the problem was that I had to keep Filmora as a full window mode, and I couldn't have my notes in front of me at the same time. Because every time I had to pause, the notes would be in the background. But yeah, what do you think? Do you like this new series? Do you think we should continue? We also have a new layout that I'm really, really proud of. But yeah, what do you think? Should we keep them? Yeah, it's really chill. Yeah, I totally get it. But yeah, if a lot of people like these. We're gonna continue with these like every 2 weeks. You know, every 2-3 weeks, like depending on what the story is. Because as you may have noticed, H.H. Holmes, we didn't have a lot of pictures to work with. We didn't have any video footage, obviously, because it's a really old case. Yeah, it's a very Art Deco style, like vintage kind of thing. But we had a lot of content and a lot of material. I actually used every single picture I could find that was unique. But as you may have seen, with Son of Sam, we had a lot of footage, like videos, pictures, because it's a newer case and it had a lot of media coverage and a lot of content. So if we actually talk about newer cases, we will be having more material and it will be a lot easier. But yeah. I really hope this stays up. I think I will. I think I will upload this. So that it will also be on YouTube, just in case something happens to it here on Twitch. But yeah. I really enjoy doing research for these kind of things. You know, the way, like all the information you gather and the work you need to do, you know, it's fun. But it's very disturbing to read about all that they did. It's always disturbing. You know. Also, I want to ask you, what do you think of the digital invitation I posted? It's on Discord. It was basically the graphic. I followed you back. I made this little graphic, and you can actually scan it with your phone. If you turn it on the side, you can scan the QR, and it will bring you to the channel. Which I thought it was a really cute idea. I made this in, you know, in Illustrator, which is like but it's a 3D ticket basically, and I really love the concept, and I really love how it looks, and I'm very, very proud of it. Yeah, really, really, really proud. Yeah, all of that allows me to be creative and just make stuff, and I love that. I really do. It's my favorite thing to do. Like, the design stream has a different layout. This stream has a different layout. Everything has its own vibe. Thank you so much, Nox. Thank you. I hope it was oh, thank you so much. I get really shy with compliments like that. I do get really shy, but yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope it was relaxing. I mean, I'm not that close to my mic right now. I could be even closer, but I would have to whisper a lot more. And I don't know if that sounds okay, you know. Now I'm actually very, very close to my mic, and I'm talking very, very low. I don't know if you can tell the difference from when I'm sitting back here, which is a little bit louder. But yeah, The thing is, I was avoiding to do these kind of streams where I speak too much because I do not like the way I sound. See, the story was interesting after all. Yay. The reason why I was not doing many of these, it's because I do not like the way I sound. At least, I mean, I'm way more used to it right now than I used to be, but I'm still not a fan of it. Oh really? Oh really, I do sound like that, huh? Oh. Yeah, I think most of us do not like the way we sound. I mean, the way we sound is not a real voice in a recording. If you listen to your voice in a recording, that's not your real voice. And also, the voice that you hear by yourself when you're speaking, that's also not your real voice. I think there was a trick to listen to what seems to be the closest to your real voice. I think if you actually press your ears a little bit, you can practically listen to what sounds the closest to your real voice. But if you listen to your voice, yeah, exactly. Like when we record ourselves with a device like a phone, a microphone, like a professional recording equipment, a camera, anything, our voice gets processed. It travels through the air to go into that device. So it sounds different. And also, the voice that we hear ourselves in our head when we speak, not the other voices, like when we actually speak. That's not a real voice either. Because what we hear is our voice through bone vibrations. Because our voice vibrates through our skull, and that's how we listen to it. That's not a real one either. It's too complicated. Too much work. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. It took me a while to actually accept how I sound like, and it was because after every single stream, I do check my VODs to see, was the game too loud? Was I too low? Did it sound okay? So I do I do a sound check after the streams. And I was forced to listen to myself quite a few times. So I'm kind of like, now. Okay. I know it's kind of like okay because of what Jumir said. It's kind of like okay. It's mid. No. I will never change my voice. I can actually change the tone of my voice because I used to sing professionally. Have a good night, Nox. Thank you so much for being here. Please stay safe. And if you need anything, just text me, please. Have a beautiful night. Get some rest. Take care. The thing is, because I was professionally, like vocally trained, I can speak in a higher pitch. I can also speak in a lower pitch. But I'm not one of these people on Twitch that speak in a high-pitched voice, okay? I don't do that shit. You're not gonna hear that from me. Ever. Ever. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed everything. I'm very thankful for everyone who showed up tonight. It truly means a lot to me. I was a bit nervous at first of how this is gonna play out. That bad? Oof. Oh. I have to learn how to accept compliments. That's something I need to learn. But I get too shy. Like, thank you so much, Stellar. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me that all of you showed up tonight. Shut up, Junior. Shut up. It really means a lot to me that you all showed up tonight and you were willing to hear me yap for 3 hours straight. Yeah, I hope it was really fun. I really hope you enjoyed it. It took a lot of work and I'm really proud of it. Both the work I did with the text and the slideshow and the research and the graphics. I had so much fun with the graphics and everything. It allows me to be creative and I love that. So, yeah. Next stream will be probably tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. Okay. So next stream will be probably tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday, and we will continue with Resident Evil 7. And at some point we need to also continue with Siberia. Yeah. Yeah, I will have to see if it will happen Saturday or Sunday though. No, I'm not. You know, my usual stream days when I was having a 9-to-5 job, it was like Friday and Saturday. And I'm trying to keep these, even if I stream more days during the week. But yeah, I will announce it on Discord. You always know that. And also, we have a new wallpaper series on coffee. Yeah, Sundays were more rare to happen. We have a new series of wallpapers on coffee. They're called Core. The first one is called Empty Core. And it's a more futuristic kind of like I don't know. How would you call it? Abstract? Maybe abstract. It's a more abstract style of series that I'm planning to release. You have the first one on coffee, I'm planning to create more color variations in the future. And I'm also planning to release a few free goodies on the special Discord channel for your 3 subs as a thank you for supporting this way. I mean, that's the only way I can give back to you and thank you for doing that. So yeah. I did not expect this to go that late, honestly. We have a new collection of wallpapers, Junior. The first one is on coffee, but I'm also planning to make more colors, and I may also make something for tier 3 subs on Discord, and you know, upload a few goodies there free. But I can't say what it is. Not yet. I can't say that yet. Yeah. I will also have to start working on my winter collection. We will be getting, at some point, we will start having design streams with the Christmas theme emotes, wallpapers, and desktop icons. You like the design streams? Yeah. I have to sit down and basically plan what I want to do because I have many ideas and many stuff I need to make. I also have lots of projects that run at the same time. But yeah, everything on time. This time, I will plan everything a little bit earlier and drop the winter collection before December, or maybe the 1st of December, because my Halloween collection got a bit delayed and I dropped it mid-October. So I need to do some planning. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for keeping me company. I hope you really enjoyed tonight's yapping session. It was honestly a yapping session, I have to admit. Yeah. This month is going to be a lot better. This month is going to be a lot better. It's more relaxed. Still, don't jinx it, because I still have some free time. Yeah, I hope you have a beautiful night. I hope you get some rest. Stay hydrated. I hope you have some warm blankets where you are. Sweet dreams. I mean, I already have lots of work to Meer, but it's manageable. During October, I had to work on 3 or 4 different projects in one day for days in a row to be able to progress. It was mad. I mean, I love having work. I love working. but it's more manageable. I mean, even if I get work, I need people to not need it last minute. So yeah. I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful night. I hope you get some rest. I will ping on Discord for the next stream, which is going to be Resident Evil 7, because we have to continue with Resident Evil 7. Have a beautiful night. Thank you so much for keeping me company again. I hope you enjoyed this. And see you next time. Bye bye.